Now, coming up, a new way of thinking about diabetes, a brand new approach through diet. You'll meet the author of The pH Miracle for Diabetes. That's coming up next today on Paula Sands Live. One of the most pressing health issues of our day is diabetes. On the rise in a big way. More children are being diagnosed, and you're about to meet a man who's found some interesting answers to this condition. Dr. Robert Young and his wife Shelley have written The pH Miracle for Diabetes. This is actually part 2 of a book that came out earlier. Dr. Young joins us now. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
I know that your previous book, a lot of people told us that they really learned a lot from it. It really helped them. So your approach is different, though, isn't it?
Well, it's an environmental approach. Rather than focusing on the tissue or the organ, we focus on the fluids that surround the cell or the organs with this particular understanding, that the cell or the organ systems are only as healthy as the fluids in which they're bathed in. It's called the fishbowl metaphor.
And so your plan, doesn't it really include medication at all? Or do you recommend that people end their medication when they begin your diet plan?
Oh, not at all. We ask them to continue on their medications, but to watch and follow their sugar levels very closely, because in 2 controlled studies, we have found by using this revolutionary diet, they can actually reduce the amount of insulin they need on a daily basis by up to 50% within a very, very short period of time.
Is this controversial at all? Do you have medical doctors tell you that they don't think this is sound?
Not at all. In fact, they're very interested in the theories because they're not necessarily educated in nutrition or in helpful ways in relationship to the type of foods that they should be eating. And so they're interested in how to help their patients with a healthy diet. And so this is a revolutionary diet that focuses on what you eat.
I really see a lot of green veggies in here.
That's right.
Avocado, well, a whole lot of other things. But you're not just saying that if you eat this way, you will not be diabetic anymore.
Well, what we've found, in fact, we've seen complete reversals with this program, even in type 1 diabetes. In the 2 control studies we've done, 83% who were type 1 diabetics were able to either eliminate their insulin injections completely, or in 96% of those who are type 2 diabetics were able to eliminate all of their medications on this program.
Does it work for kids, too?
Well, it does. It works for kids of all ages. In fact, we had a 18-month-old baby who was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes, and of course he was wasting away, and within a matter of just a few weeks, actually applying the principles in this book, they were able to balance the blood sugars in a very, very short period of time.
Wow.
And of course the child is no longer diabetic.
Well, Robert, what about the women who get diabetes while they're pregnant, the gestational diabetes that normally goes away then afterward? Could they go on this diet?
Most definitely, because it will help balance the internal fluids. And that's really the emphasis of this particular book, to help balance the internal fluids, the acid-alkaline balance, to reduce acidity, which generally causes cells to break down, releasing their sugars, causing blood sugars to go up. So if we can keep a more alkaline environment within our bodies, then we enjoy a greater level of health.
Well, we invited your wife Shelley as well here today. She's the co-author of your book. She's in her kitchen. She's getting ready to fire up a couple recipes here. But before we meet her, just real quickly, so I know it's hard to boil down your big thick book in 30 seconds. Give us some perfect foods that we really should be eating.
Well, one of the most perfect foods, whether you're diabetic or not, is the avocado. We need to focus more on healthy fats, particularly the long-chain polyunsaturated fats, because they help to neutralize acidity that builds up through metabolism. Avocado, it's approximately 80% fat. The interesting thing is, though, because it's low sugar, we're also getting a high concentration of potassium, which helps to regulate the alkaline environment. So avocados is a perfect food, and you don't get fat by eating avocados.
No. Well, and there are many, many lists of others. And we're going to do a little recipe next. This is a famous shake, isn't it?
Exactly.
Is it? It's the famous shake.
Yeah, well, it's the green shake.
It's the green shake. It's so great to meet you, Dr. Young.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So what we're going to do, we'll take a break here. We come back, we're going to hit the kitchen with Shelley Young and make that famous super green shake. It's every diabetic's perfect food right after this break today on PSL. We're in the kitchen now with a co-author of The pH Miracle for Diabetes, Shelley Young, with her famous green shake. And she's putting everything green into the blender right now. Shelley, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, just on the road with your hubby, huh?
That's right.
Nice whole family up there. Now, what did you just throw in there?
I just threw in a half of an English cucumber, a whole avocado. You just heard Dr. Young talk about avocados. We've got some dehydrated greens powders with grasses, kale, celery, parsley, broccoli.
Ooh.
It's a farmer's market there in a powder. And some super soy sprouts. This is why I want to lift the protein content of the shake.
Okay.
I've got some fresh coconut water and some coconut milk in a pinch if you can't get a fresh coconut.
Coconut milk.
Yeah.
That is
And we've got some mint. We're going to add a little bit of mint in here because people, when they eat green, if you put a little mint in it, it goes. They like green and they like
give
mint.
it a whip there,
Yeah,
Shelley.
so we're going to just put a little bit of ice in the top.
Okay.
And this is what we use for the diabetic for breakfast. Because we want to get them all those all those sugary, starchy, high-protein breakfasts that might leave an acidic residue in their bloodstream. So
Sounds like it might be good for everybody. That is the most monstrous-looking blender I've ever seen in my life.
Right. Okay, let's whip it.
Let's get it away. Now, Shelley, while you're doing that, you guys still hear us? We can't hear each other, but this is almost done. Now, this would be good for anybody, not just diabetics.
Yeah, this is alkalizing and energizing for anyone.
Because it is full of nutrients. Right.
And
the sound of silence.
And you know, it's much better to switch over to healthy fats for your fuel, for your energy.
Yes.
Rather than sugars because you don't get the lactic acid. Let's put it in one of these beautiful.
Okay, let's.
Okay.
You know, it makes it taste better if it's in a pretty glass.
Yeah.
The other thing about the avocados that your husband was just telling us, oh my goodness, that just looks like
little freeze-dried coconut.
I think I might like it.
Yeah.
But if I don't, just in case I don't, I tell you what, let's show the little pudding that you're going to make here.
Okay.
You know, we have just a little bit of time left.
Alrighty.
You're going to make a pudding with the avocado, Shelley, right?
Right.
What else it has in it? This your almond oil or the almond milk?
Right. Yes. When I make the pudding, I double the avocados. I put in a lime. I keep the super soy sprouts in, so it's high protein.
This is good but weird.
Milk. Good but weird.
It's avocado and mint together. But
yeah, and cucumber. You got your alkalizing cucumber in there, and your sweetener is stevia, which is an herbal sweetener, which doesn't affect the glycemic rate of a diabetic.
Beautiful, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or now this pudding, this is avocado pudding.
Right. Do you want me to blend it, or should we just?
I tell you what, yeah, we'll just talk about it.
Okay.
The recipes are all in here.
All in the book.
Of course.
Right.
And Shelley, I bet you've learned how to eat better just by doing this.
I have. I can go all day just on one of the puddings or the shakes because the fats burn real slow and they give me a cleaner fuel to burn on and and it's great.
Well, it's a whole new way of eating, which a lot of us aren't used to because we're eating processed junk.
Right.
And this is a good example of eating good whole foods that have,
live foods that are electron rich. We're filling ourselves with electrons, which means more energy.
And I think the research has found that diseases can be reversed.
Absolutely.
And we can definitely feel better.
And prevented.
Prevented. We love that. It is the pH miracle for diabetes. And Dr. Robert Young and his wife Shelley are traveling all over to teach us about this. You can pick up that book, I suppose, all the local bookstores, right?
Right.
Shelley, thank you so much.
Thank
It's great to see you.
Thanks very much.
This is pretty yummy. There's a book signing going on, by the way. You can meet these two tomorrow from noon to 3 at the Borders in Davenport. So we're going to wrap it up for today and tell you to have a great weekend. Stick around next for your news at 5. Bye for now.